Reading decimal scales. So the first question we have to ask ourselves to work out which number our arrow is pointing to is to decide which two whole numbers it's lying between. And this will let us know what our answer starts with. Now you can see that it lies between 2 centimetres and 3 centimetres. So this means that our answer starts 2 point something. The next key question when reading a decimal scale is checking what each extra mark represents. And in this case, because there are 10 marks to get from 2 to 3, that means that each mark represents a tenth. Remember that the first number after a decimal point is a tenth. So for every mark, it's 0.1. This one would be 0.2, that would be 0.3, and that one would be 2.4. And remember to put your units in. 2.4 centimetres. Now, another way to just check that you've got the right answer is to look at the distance between 2 and 3 and to decide which one is it closest to. Now you can see that it's closest to 2, and that would confirm that your answer will be less than 5 when you're looking at the decimals. 2.4 centimetres. Let's add another arrow in, and why don't you pause the video and see if you can work out for yourself an answer to the number that it's pointing to. Okay, let's see how you got on. So the first question you ask yourself is, what two whole numbers does it lie between? It's between 0 and 1 centimetres. This means that our answer is going to start with 0 point. Then all we have to work out is how many tenths we need. We already know that each mark represents a tenth, so we count up until we get to 5, 6, 7 and then 8. So this arrow is pointing to 0.8 centimetres. Now let's look at a slightly different type of scale, and this is the kind that you would most likely see on a set of kitchen scales. Now, before you try and work out what number the arrow is pointing to on this scale, apart from the fact that it's on a round face rather than a straight line, can you spot the other big difference? Well, let's look at this a bit more closely. One thing doesn't change. The first question that you need to ask yourself is, what two whole numbers does it lie between? Now we have 0 here, 1, 2, 3, and that would take you round towards 4 again. So for us, our answer is going to be somewhere between 3 and back round here, that would be 4. So our answer is going to start 3 point something. How do we work out what that something is? Well, remember, from 3 to 4, you have to check how many marks there are. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, because there's only 5 marks this time, rather than 10 here, each mark represents something different. Remember here, there was 10 of them, so each one represented 0.1. That's how we got our answer, 0.8 and 2.4. Because there's only 5 here, each one of those is going to represent 0.2. So if you think about it, let's start at 0. That would be 0.2, 0.4, 0.6, 0.8, 1, and so on. So our arrow here is going to be pointing at 3.2, 3.4, 3.6. So our answer for this one is 3.6 kilograms. Okay, let's add another arrow into this, and then you pause your video, see if you can come up with the answer for yourself. Okay, So to get our answer here, let's answer the first key question. What two whole numbers does it lie between? It's lying somewhere between 1 and 2. And so we know that this answer is going to start with 1. It's going to be 1 point something. Remember that we know now each mark on this scale counts for 0.2, counts for 2/10. And so this one here, 1.2. So our second arrow points to 1.2 Gallagher.